the first thing, and I know this might be contrary, but just keep your mind open, stay with me for a minute. The first thing I want you to do is learn how to get the club moving towards the target without your body turning towards the target. So here's my setup. I got a 7-iron. I'm just gonna take the club back a few feet here, and I'm gonna get it towards the target. Now notice when I'm doing that, I'm not trying to use no hips, no chest, no shoulders. My right shoulder and my right hip are staying back. Now, listen, do I know the right hip and body and all that are gonna move? Of course, your body motion is gonna move. Of course you're gonna have hip rotation. Of course you're gonna have torso rotation. I just want to kind of bring back everything, take those out, eliminate some variables, and just look at the arms and hands. We'd like to thank our partners at Diazyme, the makers of Perform, for sponsoring today's video. Do you want something to help you play better? Are you like the golfers who get tired and start to lose it towards the end of your round? Check out Perform that I've been using. I like to drink it before I train, but I also really love to take it out onto the golf course right before I go play. I've been using this for the past couple of months, absolutely love it. Basically for me, I feel like I'm on when I'm taking this. I feel more present, I feel aware of my senses, the things that I'm trying to do when I go play golf, to focus longer. It's really hard to stay focused and feel good for me for 4 to 5 hours when I go golf. So on top of good nutrition, I've been taking this before I go play, and I feel much better, much longer in my rounds. It was invented by renowned surgeon Dr. Mark Schneider to actually improve how athletes perform, and it's been tested on the pros and proven to increase endurance and strength in athletes of all levels. It's simple, it's convenient. Simply take the pouch, add water, shake it, drink, you're good to go. It has no stimulants, no caffeine, nothing that's gonna make you jittery, so it's ideal for your golf game. This gives me exactly what I need to be on and feel good and present for 4 to 5 hours out onto the golf course. I absolutely love this. I know that you guys will as well. We'll go ahead and put the link down in the description down below for you to check out more. Hey guys, Eric here out at the Bethlehem Golf Club. In today's video, we're gonna talk about creating speed for senior golfers. So we have a question coming in from YouTube, from Mike on YouTube. He says, hey Eric, I'm an older golfer, senior golfer, 72 years of age. I have a hard time creating speed like I used to. Can't quite seem to get my body through the shot. Can you help? So Mike, what I would say here, and what I wanna talk to everyone about in terms of for a senior golfer, and how you can get some of that distance back, maybe that you had, previously, would be to learn how to create some speed with your arms and hands. And now really there's like a 3-step drill or 3-step process that we're gonna go into that I'm gonna show you in terms of how to practice this, Mike, and for everyone else. But I really want you to think about, the piece that starts to go away as you age is the body motions. We might not be able to move your body like you did, 10, 20, 50 years ago, nor like the players on tour, but we can create speed with arms and hands. And even if you have great body motions, you have to be able to create speed with your arms and hands. I'm gonna show you the 3-step process of how that works. Let me just show you a simple example here. I'm gonna head over to Analyzer and just pull up a couple examples. A lot of people will come into me and sort of have this concept that they should be just basically moving their body, right? Like, let me just move my body back, move my body through, and do nothing with my arms and hands. And the reality, of course, is if you actually did that, you would create next to no speed. Your arms and hands have to come off of your body and sling the club forward, right? You've got to be able to sling your arms off your chest, sling the club towards the target. That should be the thumbnail, by the way, is slinging the arms and hands and club forward. So we've got John Rahm here. I'm just gonna pull him up, and I wanna show you, so recent US Open champion. Now, he uses his body incredibly, right? But watch, he also uses arms and hands incredibly. So just watch here as he comes through, how his arms and hands sling past his body. So it's not as though his body is just moving, and the club's not doing anything. That club head needs to be thrown towards the target. You gotta sling. How many times am I gonna say that? Sling the arms and hands forward. So let me pull up a driver example. We like Robert Rock as a nice model. Same sort of thing. Watch the club head motion, right? It's not as though his body's just going forever and the club head's doing nothing. That club head is slinging. His arms are throwing away from him into the follow through. And that's really what I want you to be able to do as well. So let's hop back over and I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. Now, we're gonna work this into a driver, but I'm just gonna start with a 7-iron here to begin with. And there's a 3-step little drill or process that I like to use really for senior golfers or for anyone in general to learn how to do this. And this is for you if you're a golfer who the ball's going shorter than normal, maybe you struggle with weak right shots, can't seem to get the club head lined up and through impact. This is what you want to do. The first thing, and I know this might be contrary, but just keep your mind open, stay with me for a minute. The first thing I want you to do is learn how to get the club moving towards the target without your body turning towards the target. So here's my setup. I got a 7-iron. I'm just going to take the club back a few feet here, and I'm going to get it towards the target. Now notice when I'm doing that, I'm not trying to use no hips, no chest, no shoulders. My right shoulder and my right hip are staying back. Now, listen, do I know the right hip and body and all that are going to move? Of course, your body motion is going to move. Of course, you're going to have hip rotation. Of course, you're going to have torso rotation. I just want to kind of bring back everything, take those out, eliminate some variables, and just look at the arms and hands. So I've got my right shoulder, right hip are back on purpose. Sling the arms and hands towards the target. Now, notice when I do that, a couple things are going to happen. My left arm is going to fold naturally. That's okay. There's going to be some supination on my arm, so my palm be a little bit more up. There's going to be a little excessive club face rotation. That's okay. So when I'm doing that towards this camera, there's going to be an excessive club face rotation. So you have the toes in front of the heel there. Okay, there's going to be a little bit extra arm rotation because I'm taking the body out. A little bit of arm fold, all that stuff is perfectly okay. And I want you to learn how to do that and create some speed with just these, just this. So my body's doing nothing. That'd be step one. Step two is you add a little bit of body motion to just the backswing, but not the follow through. So now I'm going to turn my belt buckle, my shirt buttons back as my club head goes back, but I'm still going to just sling my arms forward. So notice I'm still keeping my right shoulder, my right hip back. I'm trying to add no rotation. My left arm is still going to fold. There's just still going to be some arm rotation, some club face closure. That's okay. So I go turn my body back. A little close stance here helps me with this, but turn my body back, all arms. Turn my body back, all arms. And in fact, this is the process where I want you to start hitting a couple, okay? Because part 3, we're going just arms, turn back with just arms, and then we're going to turn back and through with arms. So eventually we're going to bring the body back into play. But let's hit a couple at each phase. We're going to do this with just an iron. Obviously, we'll bring this up with driver. So like I said, little close stance, little foot flare with the right foot I find helps a lot of players. But either way, I'm going to just hit a 7-iron like 100 yards, and I'm going to try and restrict my body motion. So it's all arms and hands on purpose. Putting the ball slightly farther back in your stance can help with contact here, because by removing the body rotation, we do move the low point back a little bit. Makes the path work a little more in and out, so a little bit push and hooky. But we're going to go no body, just arms and hands. And so I hit probably a 120-yard shot. It probably pull hooked 30 yards left. And that's the point here with the ball flight pattern. These should be going left on purpose. Why should they be going left on purpose? Because by removing all my body and all arms and hands, I'm adding excessive club face closure, okay? If you're someone who hits weak right shots, guess what? You need some of that. When you add the body motion, we're going to be back to normal. So same thing here, all arms and hands, my right shoulder, right hip stay back. I'm going to let my arms and hands go towards the target. All arms and hands. And there's a little, same sort of thing, pull hook. That one's probably only 20 yards left. Now I hit that probably 130, 40 yards. See if that pulled up here with my overall distance. And that felt to me like it was all, let's get so my club path was 6 to the right. Let's get my total distance here. Yeah, so you can see on this screen here, I hit that 132 in the air, 150 total with a 7-iron with just all arms and hands, right? Path was 6 to the right. Now, as I continue on here, now I'm gonna add my backswing motion. This would be part 2, right? Which is gonna be, I'm gonna go ahead and add some body motion back, but still just arms and hands on the way through. So now belt buckle, shirt buttons, turn back. Now I'm gonna keep my right hip and right shoulder back and sling my arms. Now, I know that doesn't really happen, okay? I know that your hips and your chest and shoulders do turn through. We're gonna get to that. I know that. This is just a drill for a feel for the arms and hands, okay? So it's just a drill. So let's go ahead and do the same thing. So now my body goes back, right shoulder, right hip stay back, all arms on the way through, but I'm adding body turn during my back. So I like a little bit of a close stance here still. So turn back, all arms and hands through. So that feels like my arms and hands are passing my body. Probably a 15-yard pull hook. Okay, let's see what the numbers are here. Now, notice this. Club path, 7.6 to the right. So if you're someone who's over the top, struggles with, big slices, etc., these would be the feels that you would have. Okay, all arms and hands, excessive club face rotation, get the body turn back, and then close everything off. Look at this club path, 7.6 to the right. Okay, I actually hit that pretty far, 178 yards. So same sort of thing. Now, my body's gonna turn through more than I think, right? I'm feeling like my hip and shoulder are staying back. It's gonna turn through a little bit. It's gonna turn through, a little more than I think it's going to, but my right hip and right shoulder are gonna stay back relative to normal. So let's do that one more time. So this is phase 2. Belt buckle, shirt buttons away from me, all arms and hands. Left arm folds, excessive club face rotation on purpose. These should hook to the left. A little bit of a closed stance. Turn back, arms and hands through. So it feels like my body's not moving and I'm creating the speed, right? I'm creating the speed on the way through. So when I feel my arms and hands there, and that should be the same thing, club path 6.5, right? 175 total. So I feel like when you're doing this, from the top, I'm creating speed this way, oops, all arms and hands from here. So I'm not doing anything with my body. Now, as I'm creating speed like that with my arms and hands, what's my body gonna do partially, right? 50% of my body motion is gonna turn just to support the arms and hands. You shouldn't be trying to get all this going, leave it behind you, right? And look for speed. Now, Eric, you've done videos before where your hand's supposed to stay behind you. If you can get the body motions like the pros, okay? And you can do some of that, there's some speed there. If you can't, especially a senior golfer, what this is for, you can create close to as much speed. Might not be 100% optimal, but close to as much speed with arms and hands. And for many of you, you'll hit it much farther with much more draw by doing it more this way. Arms and hands aren't necessarily a bad thing. Okay, so phase 1, all arms. Phase 2, turn back, all arms. Now phase 3 is gonna be same thing, all arms, 1 or 2 practice swings. Now I'm gonna turn back, all arms, turn back, all arms. Now I'm gonna feel all arms, but I'm just gonna let my body go with it. But I'm still feeling like I'm creating the speed with the arms and hands. Little close stance, right foot flare. Ball can be slightly farther back in my stance. So I'm presetting my aim a little right. Club face is preset slightly closed. That helps the draw pattern. So I'm feeling body turn back, arms create the speed, my body follows. And there's the same thing. And that's really like a max. I mean, I probably curved that. That's probably a 20-yard draw, I'll say. 20, 25 yards. So there's my path, right? Excessively out to the right, 7.9 degrees. Let's see here. And that's the point, right? If you're someone who's hitting slices, let's see how much I curve that. You want to overdo some of these pieces. Okay, there's a spin axis of 11.8 to the left, right? So that ball curved 65 feet, right? So over 20-yard draw that was. So you want to put some of those elements in. So if you're a senior golfer, you want to do that and start with an iron and then pull the driver up and do the same exact thing, right? When you're doing your little warm-ups and practice swings, if you want to create some speed, do just arms. Let your lead arm fold. Let the club have a little excessive rotation. It's okay, we're playing a little draw pattern in here. 1 or 2 or 3 of these. Now, turn your body back and feel the same thing through. Turn your body back, arms and hands, turn your body back, arms and hands, and then eventually turn your body back, arms and hands, and just let your body go with it. But the speed for you come from the arms and hands. So is it the same thing with the driver? Yes, it is. So I might even do one here. Watch, just arms and hands, just to get started. That felt like just all arms and hands to me. A little low, kind of pull drawy, probably 200 yards. But now if I add that same feel with a turn on the way back, that's gonna be pretty close to normal. So let's see what these numbers were. So that was, okay, so 151 total, 210, or I'm sorry, 151 in the air, 210. That was all arms and hands. Now let's add the backswing turn. This will be part 2. So all arms and hands on the way through, but a little bit of backswing turn. Now I bet that's gonna be 260, 270. Let's see. So I feel like no body to me. There we go, 220 in the air, 270 total. A little low one. And now let's do the final one, which is gonna be turn back, arms through, and then let your body go with it. And to scale it, my normal club head speed we were doing before is 112, 113. That was 108 with feeling all arms, right? So all arms through, I'm gonna turn my body back, all arms through, and let my body go after it. So that felt like all arms to me and my body followed. And guess what? 114. So that was the fastest speed that I had today. Hit 3 degrees up on it, 278, 302. So I might need to feel a little bit of all arms as well because I actually swung that faster than normal. So that's the point, little nice case study for myself there. Arms and hands, let them fly off your body, especially if you're older, struggling with body motions. Step one, hit some pull hooks to the left, add the body turn, you're gonna hook them more than normal, and then create the speed with your arms and hands, let your body respond. Over exaggerate this if you normally miss weak to the right. If you already have a draw pattern, maybe not as much. If you like this video and can click that little gray thumbs up button, still watching at this point, we'd really appreciate that. If you wanna check out CogornoGolf.com, send your swing in, we can build you a plan, would love to do that. We'll put CogornoGolf.com on the screen. We'll also put another screen, our OG biggest old senior golfer video that we did. They're really kind of blueprint for a general senior golfer that I'd do. We'll put that on. Thank you guys for watching.